Hi, today's my discharge day, so I'm very excited. There's actually been a change to the discharge process, and this was announced on Sunday, the 7th of February 2021. So I just want to go over a few of the differences, but before I do that, I just want to show you these. So these are masks. There's another change, and that is that now when you enter a hotel quarantine room in Western Australia, you will be issued with 20 of those surgical face masks, and you are expected to wear them every time you open the door. So that might be for a food delivery, for a personal care package that you might receive, if you're putting out the linen, if you're putting out the rubbish, and of course, if there's an emergency and you need to leave your room, you and every person in your room needs to use those masks. Now, regardless of how many people are in the room, you will receive 20 masks. It is advised that one person uses one mask a day. So, and you leave it by or close to the door so that you can grab it, and it's nice and handy for you. They also advise on how to put the mask on, and that you need to do hand hygiene. Obviously, before using the mask, you should avoid touching the mask, only use the straps to loop around your ear. So they do supply a lot of information around that. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about today was the discharge process. So the hotel checkout process, the day before you're due to check out, you're given a checkout form and a pen, which is great because we don't always have one of those. And with that form, it just contains all of your personal details. So your name, your date of birth, the hotel that you were staying in, because this goes to the Department of Health. It's not issued by the hotel. It also has details on your new address in Australia. That's what they're requesting. If you don't have one, I've just written my address in Switzerland. I'm not staying in any one place in Australia. I'm going to see my mother. I also need to travel to see my adult children. So I've just included my Switzerland address in there. And on your day of departure, you get a health check. So you get your temperature taken. You're asked if you have any COVID symptoms, and only if you pass the health check then are you issued a clearance certificate. And you're also given your discharge time. So your discharge time is generally the time that your plane landed in Australia. So it's not the time you arrived at the hotel quarantine or your hotel, it's the time that your plane landed. So for me, that's 3 p.m. this afternoon. Now there's 50 of us being discharged out of the Mercure in Perth today. So it'll be very interesting to see how that process works, and I'll keep you updated and give you a bit of a tour, hopefully. Now, after you've received your discharge time, your health clearance certificate, and you've got your hotel checkout form, you need to take those things with your ID down to reception, and that you required all of those things for a successful and quick checkout. You can't avoid any of them. If you have used any of the hotel facilities in terms of ordering in-room service, you are requested to pay for those the day before. So yesterday I would have received a request to finalise my account, and that's to expedite the discharge process out of hotel quarantine. I'll show you some footage of what it's like to exit the room, get to the lift, down into the lobby, up to reception. Okay, just a quick note on luggage as well, because the process with luggage has changed. Previously, you were offered assistance with your luggage, so someone would come up and assist you getting your luggage down into the lobby. That has since been cancelled. So you are required to get your own luggage in one go from your room to the lobby, and you can request a hotel trolley for use to do that. So just make sure you're a bit organised and you request all of things maybe the day before, because it does seem to get a bit busy. My discharge is only in 2.5 hours time, and I still haven't had my health check. So am I a bit anxious? Oh yes, of course I am. This has been the longest, 2.5 hours of my life. And the other thing is, if you leave anything in your room, you are not allowed access back into your room immediately. So if you're one of the first people to be discharged and you have left a phone or a wallet or a child's iPad in your room, you will have to wait until every person who is due for discharge that day to be processed and discharged, and then you'll be allowed back out, and that could take quite a considerable amount of time. So make sure you do 1 or 2 sweeps of the room before you leave. Check under all the beds, you know, the usual standard stuff, because you really don't want to be waiting around. I can't think of anything worse, waiting around for everyone to leave before you can come back and grab your missing items. Okay, so I told you a fib before. I said that someone would come up and take your temperature and do a health check prior to discharge. Well, the health check on discharge is actually a phone call from a nurse from the Department of Health. So this isn't conducted by the nurses in the hotel that you're staying in. It's from the nurses from the Department of Health, Western Australia, or the state that you're staying in. She went through about a list of 10 yes or no answers related to health that I had to answer, all correlated to signs and symptoms of COVID. And then she advised me of my checkout time. Like, as I said before, my flight landed at 3 p.m. and considering that there are 50 of us discharging today, I expected maybe some delay, but my discharge time is at 3:06 p.m, which is absolutely fabulous. So I was instructed that at 3:06 p.m. and not before, I could open my door and leave my room. I must wear a mask. It was reinforced that masks are mandatory in Western Australia at the moment, so I must wear that at all times. The security guard will direct me to the elevator and I will need to get myself down to the lobby and through reception to complete that process. So yes, very excited. I now only have a couple of hours left. I can't wait.